just so you know.
Oh, I'm really glad that nobody updated the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Is that normally Zaz that does that?
Yes.
Because she's
Yeah.
like in Canada, so.
Is James online? Fuck, he is not.
And Tina's at the hospital.
Oh, this is a disaster.
Why are we live?
Is James online?
We're
Oh God,
live.
I need to mute that. Okay, we're live. Hi.
Yes, we're
Hi.
live. Oh my God, this is a train wreck.
So,
Alright, it's not even like 30 seconds.
sorry, we're not playing The Living Dead, Call of Duty World at War Zombies, because somebody forgot to change the title. It wasn't us. We don't have that power.
Nope.
So, whoever is in charge of that, shame
We're
on
calling you out
you.
live on stream, even though you're not
Oh
here.
my God.
This is a call out post.
Yeah, we apologize. This is not KRWBY Plays. This is the Fire Force podcast, episode 10, and we are talking about The Promise.
The promise
Fire
of naked
Force episode
aprons.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So I suppose we should introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Brian.
I am the clusterfuck. I mean, Ian.
I'm the other guy.
And I'm Bo.
Wait.
Yup.
What? You know this episode's gonna be terrible. We didn't screw up the intro.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
It's not
We
like
screwed
there
up
was anything
literally
else
everything.
terrible about this episode.
I mean, we technically screwed up the intro from the moment you pressed go live. The most people we've ever had watching the podcast, and it's because it's probably got the wrong title.
Oh, I guess.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, 21 people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Hold
on.
sorry.
21
Hold on.
people.
22.
I'm
Hold
sorry
on,
you
I'm gonna-
binge baited. By
Give
debated, I
me
mean
just a
screwed
moment.
up.
I'm gonna call James on the cellular phone and
Oh.
see if he can do anything about
Hey.
this.
Put him on speaker.
I'm gonna do that. Hang on. We'll get to the podcast in just a minute, guys.
After this
Yeah,
brief message,
so-
I mean call out.
For once, we don't have any black boxes on our screen.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's almost
Nothing
like
has
they're...
ever gone wrong with our podcast ever.
I also love that it's like, I mean, given I change my profile picture like on a daily basis practically, but I haven't had that profile picture for like 2 months.
Yeah, I'm aware. I was gonna ask Kay to update it when we got the new show. So it's like every time we switch a show, you get a new icon.
Awesome.
I need to find James's number because for whatever reason I don't have him in my contacts. All right.
I mean, Tina's online on mobile. I'm sure she could probably do it.
I'm calling James right now.
Oh, okay.
Then I'll call Tina.
When he answers, tell him first and foremost you're on speaker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man, he's not gonna pick up.
We've been
No,
This
he's
is-
not,
we've
but
been
it'd be
this is
hilarious if he
exciting.
did.
possibly
Hey
doing
James,
it.
what's up?
Not much. What's up with you?
You're on speakerphone on the podcast, by the way.
We're calling you out, James.
Yeah, the podcast that is incorrectly labeled as The Living Dead KRWBY Plays Call of Duty World at War Zombies.
Not gonna fix that. Oh boy.
Yeah. Is there any way you could do something about that?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, thank you. James.
Thank you, James.
Someone,
All right.
someone just give me.
I'll
X.
talk to you later. Bye.
All right,
All right, we're gonna get it fixed, people.
we're gonna get it fixed.
All right.
We're gonna fix it, people. We promise.
Anyways, where the fuck are my notes? Let's do this. All right.
You made notes?
Of course I take notes, Ian. I'm a professional.
I just
No, I'm
open
not.
up the wiki.
Yeah.
I have every episode.
Oh my god, that's so smart.
Every episode, I have literally just had the wiki open.
Oh my god.
Just with like the episode summary.
Okay, so yes, we're talking about Fire Force episode 10, The Promise. The episode starts out in the Holy Soul temple, and this dude that looks like the Pope asks for all the captains to be assembled, as you know the Pope does.
He's the emperor, though. He's not the pope.
That's true.
But
He
he
is.
just looks like the Pope.
He does look like a pope.
He does look
looks
like
if
the
you
Pope.
cross the Holy Roman Emperor with the Japanese emperor.
Well, he looks like the
He's
dudes
the
from
Poperer.
the Fire Temple.
The Poperer.
In Avatar.
That doesn't sound very regal.
The Poperer.
Yeah. He is the Tokyo Empire Emperor, Raffles III.
Yes.
Yeah, that name was
has the
truly
name
inspired.
of
That
like
sounds
a
like
household pet.
That sounds
Emperor
like
Raffles.
somebody bought a raffle ticket and it had the number 3 on it. It's like Raffles III, character name, beautiful, got it.
I don't understand that name. Also, that scene immediately cuts to a scene with the little mascot guys.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that? They just keep cutting back to the mascots for no reason.
It's a visual
gag. Why are they on the roof? And why are they like
dripping? Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Why do they hang the mascots out to dry?
I don't know.
On the roof.
I don't know. I don't care.
None of this makes any sense.
It makes about as much sense as where Arthur was at the end of the last episode.
And why he's just back.
Yeah, he's just back.
Yeah, like where were you on your vision quest?
Pod racing? I don't know.
Pod racing? With his lightsaber? Yeah, sure.
It definitely looked like something out of Star Wars.
Yes, I know. He just didn't come back with force powers, though.
Let's just charge through this because a lot of this stuff at the beginning doesn't really matter. So, yeah, the mascots are weird. People are playing pranks on Captain Obi. That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
To play pranks on your superior. Shinra gets a lunch from Princess Hibana because, of course, he does. Arthur is back
somehow.
Yay. Tamaki isn't lucky anymore. Now she's kneeing people in the face.
Which I much prefer, thank you.
Well, it's much preferable to what else she pulls.
And then they're playing with fire in the office, and not Ida is totally cool with it for some reason.
Which seems entirely out of character for him.
None of this scene made any sense to, although I do love the scene with Arthur and Shinra in a big scuffle, and Arthur is like bopping him in the head with his lightsaber saying, "Farewell, skirt devil."
Yeah. That's true. I do like can I just say, did anybody else notice that they were using fucking Scooby-Doo running sound effects for not Ida typing on the keyboard?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was just like, wait a minute. What? That's pretty amazing. And then, but yeah, so they have to go to this meeting, and Tamaki and Shinra are coming with for reasons, because their first-hand account of their experience with the Evangelist and the White Clad organization is really important, except they don't talk about any of that.
Except they don't talk about any of it.
They don't talk about their account.
You know what this seems like to
They
me?
call on Shinra, but
yeah.
It seems like the Emperor is incompetent, or the show writer is incompetent, and or both.
Well, yeah,
thank you for changing the title, James.
Oh my god.
Thank you, James.
It's interesting to me because we first see them. First of all, they show up in their dress uniforms, and why is Tamaki's outfit a maid out? Why is she not in her dress blues? I don't understand. So that bothered me. But then, they get there, and the Emperor's all like, "Hey guys, here's our meeting, cool," and the one guy just leaves.
Yeah.
He just pieces out. He's like, I don't really want to be here. Y'all are stupid. The Emperor sucks.
Bye.
Cool.
Your religion sucks. Your God is dumb.
It's like this is the leader of his company? How disorganized is this organization? I feel like if you did that to current day Emperor of Japan, it would probably involve handcuffs and a jail cell. And you go back a century, and it might have involved a katana too.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure it still doesn't?
It
I'm
might.
fairly sure
I don't know. I don't think anyone's tried it.
Yeah. So, in any case, there's also a few other things that are worth talking about. So they go by Amaterasu, which is the power plant that produces all of the power for Tokyo. Oh yeah, Karim is there too for no reason. He doesn't say a goddamn word in the meeting.
Yeah. He's literally he like ushers them into the building for reasons.
He's window dressing.
And then like they even though he's been in like the last 3 episodes, when he shows up, they flash back to the shit that he did in the fight in the last episode, just in case you forgot who he is.
and why he's relevant.
Yeah, like.
Also, there's a dude in a metal plague doctor mask, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And he's from Hajima Industries, and he's like, why are you working with them? It's
he's like talking to Princess Hibana. He's like, hey, why you working with the 8th? Aren't you with Hajima like me? And she's like, of course I am. It's not like I swapped sides because they've got a hot dude.
It's not like I swapped sides because they punched me in the face once.
Yeah.
But it turns out he's actually a company captain. He's of course Dr. Giovanni. Of course, he's Italian.
Naturally.
And we see all the company captains, right? We see the guy in charge of the 2nd, that really disrespectful guy.
Mm-hmm.
Some other captains.
Yeah,
it seems like Obi is the only normal-looking company captain.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like everybody else is like super weird. Now the 7th, it's stated that the 7th captain, the captain for the 7th company is. He rarely shows up for anything. So the fact that he's here at all is impressive. And also supposedly he's the best fire soldier in the world. But you're right, he doesn't care a lot about other people, and he even states that like, he looks like he's not dressed in anything special. He's like in normal clothes, and apparently it comes from the fact that he says, first of all, they call him a proto-nationalist. Which
whatever that
is. And it's also stated that the 7th used to just be neighborhood watch people. Like, so if you want to talk about maybe a reason why he's unprofessional and disorganized.
He just used to be a random neighborhood watch guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, he's like, yep, your religion sucks and you suck, bye.
So he never shows up to anything, but he shows up to this only to
Just
insult
to
the
talk
emperor
shit.
and leave.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm
he's
just
a
here to have a
troll.
good time.
Like,
he was in the neighborhood, figured he'd drop by,
mm-hmm.
Oh man.
So yeah. Also,
he has tic-tac-toe eyes.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. There's also it's interesting because they're brought in literally basically for one reason and one reason only, and that seems to be that like the emperor, the poperer, he's basically like, hey guys, I want you to stop the evangelist. And I feel like the 8th is just over there like, yeah, we were working on that.
Why are we already on that?
Yeah.
Why are we here?
Like, you couldn't have just sent this in an email?
Yeah.
Why do we all have to be here?
Why do we have to be in this giant cathedral where you are both emperor and pope, just so you could say that and have a meaningless meeting?
Which, I mean, in all honesty, right, it makes it, I mean, from that perspective, it seems like what the 7th captain did is pretty reasonable. He's like, you dragged me down here for this? Fuck you.
I mean,
Bye.
that's fair, but this meeting actually served a purpose. It just wasn't an in-character purpose. It was a purpose of showing. It was showing us, hey, look at the other captains. Any one of them could hold the secret to the curse of fire that has been plaguing these lands.
Let me guess, it's the guy with the weird eyeballs, because all of the weird eyeball having people, Mr. Star Eyes, Flower Eyes, Shinra, they're all important characters in some way.
Yup.
To have normal eyes in the show, there's no hope for you.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Joker is listening in on the meeting too.
Yes, with literal Apple AirPod.
Yeah, I know. It's like
literally an AirPod.
Like, did somebody pay for the branding?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Apple's getting some money out of this.
But like, those are literal Apple AirPods. And here's my question: how the hell is he able to? How is he so close to the meeting? Like, if this guy is the emperor,
obviously
where's his
he knows
security?
everything. Obviously, he knows everything.
He's just standing on top of the nuclear reactor, man. Like, why have security at a nuclear reactor?
Yeah, well, when it's also, like, the most important thing, you'd think you'd have security watching everything. Like, he should have a bullet in his head and be just freaking dead.
Now, I should point out there was another reason that this meeting happened. And it's interesting that they had to assemble everybody to do this, but we did get some important exposition for the audience.
On this Adola burst
yes,
thing.
the Adola burst. So it's described. So apparently Shinra has it, and it seems to be that that's what Rekka was trying to find, was people with Adola bursts. And apparently an Adola burst is an unsullied pure flame, the primordial flame, and the spark that Sol used when creating this world.
Which should be a lot bigger of a deal, except that they've done such a poor job of introducing this concept that I could not care less.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting to me that they say that Sol used, like their god used when creating the world. Like it personifies their god in a little bit more. It's a little bit more personified than they've talked about it before, right? It's not just the great flame of fire or the great god Sol, just kind of like a vague religious figure kind of thing. It's like, no, this is there's a creation myth here.
That
they haven't gotten into.
They cited a passage from their Bible.
Yeah. Now, they also point out that Amaterasu, the perpetual thermal energy plant, is the source flame that provides all of the energy for the Tokyo Empire, and that flame is no more or less than an Adola burst.
Which gives me a question. If Shinra has or is an Adola burst, and the Amaterasu is powered by one of these, does that mean there's just a person in there just like screaming fire into like a fan or something all day?
It's just Rekka going like fire. Oh my god. That's exactly what it is. Yes, there's a person in there. What do you want? No, I actually think that's probably exactly what it is.
I think it's powered by people.
I think it's powered by people, and they need to keep replacing people like fuel.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
It definitely seems.
This is the dark secret underlying their society, right?
We figured it out. We don't have to watch this show anymore, guys. No.
It definitely sounds like it, but thinking about it, they probably got some terrible reason why it's not that.
It's an Adola burst that they took out of the person, or it's who knows?
Who knows?
So, yeah, but
maybe it's a bug. It's just powered by a giant bug.
Yeah. So apparently, the evangelist is seeking to obtain the Adola bursts. No one really knows what the scientific difference between Adola burst and a regular flame is, but I don't know. Maybe the evangelist has figured it out. Maybe that's why they're looking for him.
It seems interesting to me that they have no discernible. They can say, well, the Amaterasu is powered by one of these, but maybe it's just a regular flame. How do they know the difference if they can't scientifically tell them apart? I mean, do they put one in the reactor and it doesn't work or something?
I love this comment in the chat. So what I'm getting out of this is that a Pope Emperor is running a nuclear power plant. Sounds relatable. I'm like, man, that's not far off.
Hashtag badly explain anime.
I love this.
Oh man. So essentially, nobody knows the difference, but as a result, it seems likely that the evangelist is going to be coming and looking for Shinra. And so the third is like, we want Shinra secured. And then the eighth is like, no, you're going to experiment on him. We'll secure him.
No, we won't. We'll only pull off a couple of his limbs. What?
We'll make sure to put all of his organs back in his body.
Not necessarily in the right places, but they won't be
like,
there.
It was so like you could see it coming. It was like you didn't even level like a good reason. You just said we want him, give him to us, and you said no, and that was the end of the discussion.
I mean, the guy has a plague doctor mask for a face. Like, he's got obviously a bad guy.
So I mean, yeah, no kidding. So in any case, the 8th accepts the responsibility to keep Shinra safe. They go back to the 8th, and what the fuck was Arthur doing to his sword? He was just like hitting his sword with something, and I didn't know what it was.
It looked like he was hitting it with like a thing of dongo. Like, to be completely honest.
Yeah,
he's technically like
he's just smearing dongo all over the sheath of his sword.
It looked to me like he was like hitting it with a lollipop or something.
Yeah,
I was like, what are you doing?
That's what it looks like. Also, so they get back to the 8th, right? Except Shinra, who they literally just had a meeting, an unprecedented meeting, where all of the company captains get together. This has never happened before in Obi's career, right? They get together and like, okay, we know the evangelist, this enemy of the state, is coming for Shinra. We have to protect him. And then, oh, yeah, we just left him over there.
Yeah, we just left him behind.
Yeah. Like,
even after the third company was like, oh, we want to like take him away for our experiments, and it's like, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine by himself.
Like, I'm sorry. Is anybody here beginning to lose their suspense of disbelief?
Yeah, that was pretty. That was
lost a few episodes ago. Yeah. So in any case, Shinra has indeed stayed behind to see Amaterasu.
Didn't see the people in it, Guess they hide those away from the public viewing panels.
And who shows up but the Joker?
Of course.
And the Joker is like, hey, Shinra.
Exhibit A of why someone needs to fucking protect this poor child.
Yes. Like, literally, as soon as they take their eyes off him, the bad guy finds him.
Yeah. Gee, it almost tells me that they have terrible security at one of their most important sites in the entire country.
I'm gonna say.
And then in any case, the Joker shows up and he's like, "Hey, Shinra, you want exposition?"
Yeah, you didn't get enough exposition in the last few episodes. Here's some more.
And Shinra's like, "No," and he's like, "Too bad."
Wow.
I want to say, David Martin in chat, don't try to explain away Arthur's like weirdness. He's trying. He's trying
to. Forgot which one was his dominant hand, my dude.
And he went on a vision quest and returned as if nothing happened, dude.
That's how they depict traditionally taking care of swords that actually have blades. He's literally doing it to the sheath of the sword.
Which, by the way, why the fuck does he need a sheath to his sword?
Don't try to explain his weirdness, okay? It makes more sense to just say he's weird than to try to explain why he's doing it.
We're just messing with you, dude. You're good. No. But no. But yeah, so Joker's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you some exposition. Hey, you know that brother you have? He's alive, and he's the commander of the Knights of the Ashen Flame in service to the Evangelist.
It's like, totally didn't see that coming.
Guys. Yeah, surprise, surprise. Die and turn evil, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this whole scene taking place in like the Amaterasu engine inner workings. There's this weird. They keep cutting back to this hourglass that's filling with like black ash that looks kind of a lot like the stuff the ashes of the Infernals Joker was throwing around a few centuries ago in the show. It feels like, but why do they need a timer filled with ash? That was never explained even remotely.
No, it definitely, I mean, maybe it'll be explained later. We'll see.
Maybe.
But yeah, so basically he's like, "Yep, your brother's a bad guy," and then Shinra's like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And then the Joker fucks off. He's like, "Exposition over. This is all you get for now."
That's it. I'll be back later.
I'm sorry. I hope the manga is better because I'm thinking about looking into that later. But it seems like the script for this was literally phoned in.
I mean,
they had to contrive a reason for Shinra to be by himself so that he could meet with the Joker. Although, honestly, the Joker could have just, like, shown up, like, he could have opened his eyes from a bad dream and the Joker's just, like, sitting there next to his bed, and that would have made as much sense.
Yeah, like, honestly, I might have preferred that. Like, just the Joker showing up in his dream to, like, tell him shit. Like,
that would have worked too. Yeah,
Just, how much of this episode was a screaming anime cliche?
How much of this show is a screaming anime cliche?
Fair.
We're
not even past like the first 8 minutes.
I know.
I think we are. No,
we're pretty far.
We're like 2/3 of the way through.
We've been.
Yeah.
We've been.
It just this episode, like, I feel like I blinked and it was over.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, not a whole lot happened despite something important, like they went to the Emperor's house and talked, and he met with the bad guy and more
important dude behind with no protection after just having a meeting about how in danger his life is.
Yep. He'll just find his way home, you know. we took the car.
We'll leave the lights on.
We'll leave the food on the porch.
Leave a key under the mat. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in any case, after the Joker fucks off, Shinra's like, "I'm gonna need to fight my brother, but I'm gonna keep my promise to both my brother and my mother, and I'm gonna keep him safe."
So
how is he gonna fight his brother and keep his brother safe? I don't.
He's like, I'll kick my own ass.
Here was the one part of the show that I actually paid attention to in great detail. Shinra has had a number of times where he said during the show, "I'm sorry I couldn't keep my promise. Here's a new promise I will keep." And that is one of the few parts of his character that has been unique and interesting, is seeing him realize that the old promise he made to himself because of information he did not have is no longer feasible. And seeing him revise that promise to fit the information he has now attained. Like, his brother is the leader of the enemy knights. Okay, well, he can't protect his brother in the same way he promised to because his brother has, been abducted by the enemy. So
yep.
Indoctrinated by the enemy.
Yeah, been abducted and indoctrinated by the enemy. So, like, he can't fulfill that promise because when he found out his brother was alive, it was, "I'm going to find him and I'm going to keep him safe." Well, he's already failed that, unfortunately, and that's out of his control. You don't see him
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah. And it's not like he's going, "I'm a terrible brother. I couldn't have found him in time. He's already joined the enemy." It's information I didn't know has come to my attention. I couldn't keep this exact promise, but here's what I could. Here's what I could do. Here's what I can. And that's actually something I enjoyed. Like, hey, you are realizing that you can't be super anime protected. It's like, "I'm gonna save you." He
will save his brother from his brother.
Yeah, he is at least recognizing that there is a reality here, and that he has to adjust to it to a certain degree.
No matter how much the show's plot might break it.
Well, I was gonna say his punch the evil out of you trick worked pretty well with the fifth company captain. Maybe he can just do that to his brother too. Punch the evil out of him.
So
I wanna throw out there real fast is, as of this episode, this is following the exact same story arc that Assassin's Creed Odyssey has. Of like,
really?
main character thinks that their sibling dies when they're younger, grows up, swears that they're not gonna let the people that they care about like get hurt or whatever, and they're gonna be a hero to protect people, and then finds out that their sibling is still alive and is working, not just working but leading the enemy. Like,
I mean,
it's
Darth
just
Vader
like,
much? Like,
oh.
This is a plot we see again and again and again.
Yeah.
I mean, when done right, it's a really good like plot point, but it's just kind
Mhm.
of like it's really hard to do it right, admittedly, without it feeling like, oh, it's that trope again.
It's that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one of the other things that I think is interesting too, right, is after all of this happens, Shinra goes back to the 8th and they start going through files to try and find clues. Shinra wants to keep working because he wants to kill Arthur, which is fair. And then they take a break, and then Shinra helps make dinner with Not Ida, and Not Ida's like, "Hey, you good?" And Shinra's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then like Not Ida's like, "Yeah, cool." And then dinner immediately brings Arthur back to life. Obi and Not Ida, or Obi goes and talks to Not Ida, and he's like, "Hey, is Shinra good?" And Not Ida's like, "Yeah, Shinra's good." And Obi's like, "Okay, good."
I mean, you missed the part where the girl characters decided, oh, I forgot we were girl characters. We have to go do the girl character thing of go make dinner before they actually subvert that. I was gonna be really upset if they just left it at that, but then they subvert that. You know.
Well, no,
I deliberately skipped over the fan servicey bullshit.
No, we need to just say
Yeah.
this one thing. What the hell is that naked apron?
It's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's literally nothing.
It does not deserve to be there. I've said my piece.
So they, in any case, they go eat dinner, and then Shinra's like, "Hey guys, so there's this guy that I met today, and for some reason I was under the impression he had already told them about the Joker."
I think they knew about.
Did they know about it?
I'm
Arthur
pretty
knew
sure
about it, but Arthur's an idiot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
sure,
we don't question anything in regards to Arthur.
And Tamaki was not paying attention.
My question is, why the fuck did he wait until dinner to tell them, "Hey guys, so you know when you didn't want to leave me alone because some people might like find me? So somebody found me."
Found me.
I mean, it's a fair point, but it's also he wasn't in any immediate danger once he got back, and it was like they're all gonna be hit in here in this room, not just one person's gonna be out doing paperwork or whatever.
Okay,
they're all gonna be here.
Okay, but they're looking for leads for the evangelist, right?
That's fair.
And Joker just came to them and was like, "Hey, your brother works for them." How is that not a lead?
Well, it's not.
It's also it's
relevant,
a very personal
a
subject too, and it's also like I imagine he kind of wanted to figure out how to bring it up to them without it being like.
I suppose.
Weird.
Yeah, well, he does, because that scene with him and Not Ida are like they're talking, and he doesn't really want to open up, right? This is Not Ida basically giving him that opportunity, like, hey, and if you want to talk to me, that's fine. You want to talk to Obi, whatever, like, but we're here for you. You can tell us if something's going on, right? Which was a pretty humanizing moment for these characters. I like this whole dinner scene, as slow and far afield of the normal pace of the show has been thus far. I actually liked this better, just because it felt more like the first couple of episodes. It felt more like a procedural, like these are firefighters at their firehouse. Like, like if the show had stayed more focused on that initial premise of like going out and fighting infernals and putting them down, and then getting little pieces of the plot here and there, I think I would have been happier.
Yeah, I feel like they jumped into the conspiracies way too quickly.
Yeah, I you know what, I will concede. I understand why Shinra waited. David Martin pointed it out. He didn't want his brother to be hurt, and so and also he didn't know if the Joker was lying. I totally get it. I still think that he should have immediately reported that he was compromised. But
they're like, hey guys, they found me. BT dubs.
By the way, yeah, they might have a tracking device on me.
I think he still could have easily reported that, and then at dinner been like, "Okay, guys, there was something that I left out."
Yeah, there's a part of that. Well,
yeah,
you said it was like it was a lead he didn't give them, but I don't know that it is actually a lead. Knowing that his brother, who everybody thinks has been dead, pretty much, is the head of this Templar organization working for the Evangelists. That doesn't really tell them it tells them something they didn't know, but doesn't help them find them any more than
that's that's fair. Although, as far as
nice
I understand what you're saying about liking this scene better, right? And about it being a humanizing moment. My issue is that everything about this episode just felt convenient. I haven't like we've talked about up until this point, like these characters aren't characters. They're not fully fleshed out characters. They're character archetypes. And that is problematic because now you get these humanizing moments where they're trying to like, oh, we're here for you, Shinra. But not only do I not care about Shinra, I don't care about anybody else, and I haven't seen any other actions by them or any other significant actions that have really moved me to make me think like, oh yeah, you can trust them, Shinra. It's just dialogue to move the plot along.
Yeah, fair. And then there's the scene with the mascots on the roof drinking beer, and I'm still really confused why they're there.
It's like, this visual gag, it's funny, but I have no idea what purpose it serves.
What? Did they get locked out? Did somebody, like, not leave the door open for them? I don't know.
Yeah, so there's definitely... in any case, they had that scene, and they all decide, we're gonna follow your lead based on this hypothesis that Shinra's brother is indeed alive and the Joker isn't, because somebody with a name like the Joker would never do that.
Nope, definitely not.
And also, hey guys, the Evangelist is a Shota.
What?
He's a little boy.
Well, no, I don't think that was the Evangelist.
You don't think that was the Evangelist? The dude on the big throne? You don't think that was the Evangelist?
No, I think that was his brother because he looks like a carbon copy of Shinra.
Yeah, he looks like Shinra with white hair, and Shinra's brother
and he also has
the
same teeth too.
Oh, does he? I didn't notice that. I may have checked out of the episode by that point.
Well, he's got big pauldrons and a sword and like the Templar cross thing going on. So he's got a bunch of Templar folks, lined up. So, he is in a very like holy kind of position, but I think he's the general character. This is Shinra's brother, definitely.
That's fair. He looks mean, but he's very cute.
Also, he has red eyes like Shinra.
Yeah.
Yeah. The red eyes, the hairstyle is exactly the same. Like, he literally looks like if you got rid of all of the color in Shinra's skin and his hair and left it the same, there you go. That's the dude.
Yeah, heck, even his grin, I'm just watching, his grin is the same as Shinra's.
He's got the shark teeth.
His toothy, a little higher on one side grin, yeah.
So that brings us to the end of the episode. General thoughts?
God help me.
I'm sorry, was that out loud? I thought I was muted. No, I'm trying really, really hard to to keep enjoying it the way that I did earlier on in the series. I'm just kind of really lost most of the times. I feel like there's a lot of stuff missing, despite the fact that I have seen every episode. And I'm following. I don't read the manga, so obviously there's a lot of questions that I'm sure are probably answered by the manga, but I really just feel kind of like the story is taking off and leaving me behind, despite the fact that I'm up to date on the show.
I feel like the story is taking off and it's leaving the characters behind, but
that's fair.
Yeah, it's just too fast paced.
You need to slow down. And you need to show us not their caricatures, but their actual characters. Minus Tamaki. Tamaki can get actual character development, and then treat her like a character.
Yeah, and I now thing right. So the next episode is titled Formation of Special Fire Force Company 8. So I'm thinking this is going to be a flashback episode.
It does, and
Oh,
hopefully
yeah.
it will be one of the good ones.
And I want everyone to mark my words right now for next week. Because I guarantee you I'm going to be saying them next week. Backstory does not equal character development.
No, it does not.
No, it does not.
Nope.
It can provide more context for a character, but it's not the same thing as character development.
That being said, more context for a character could also,
more context
help.
for these characters would be nice. Anything for these characters would be nice.
Well,
no characters, caricatures.
Backstory helps develop, your characters because you now have more to go on rather than just their archetype, right?
It gives you context for why they are currently the way that they are, but that doesn't establish like, oh, they are developing as a character.
Well, right. I mean, by definition, like a flashback is setting them up. Here's how the characters started. Here's how they got to where we started, right? But you gotta go past that to develop, right?
I mean, I know that I've already said it on a previous episode regarding backstory stuff, but like there's good backstory that's really helpful, and then there's bad backstory. And I think the good backstories are the ones that really, it depends. I mean, if you're trying to it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get the audience to sympathize with the character, then a good backstory will achieve that. Will make you sympathize with the character, and like you guys were saying, provide context for why they are currently the way they are, but also hopefully provide context for why they need to change.
Right. I'm gonna say 3 words, and I'm pretty sure all of us can agree. Potentially, I'm hoping so. Good backstory. 3 words. Salem info dump. That's how you do good backstory, in my opinion. Like, if you've seen Volume 6, then you know what I'm talking about.
I think, I do think that was well done backstory. I have questions about motives, but just on the off chance that there are people here in the chat who have not seen Volume
that's
6.
why I said only 3 words. I'm like, if you know what I'm talking about, then I feel like most of it was good. That's how you do good backstory.
The fastest, most effective backstory to make me sympathize with a character I've ever seen in my life was in the Ancient Magus Bride OVA. Literally 10 seconds into the OVA, you have a mother who turns to their daughter and says, "I never should have had you," then jumps out the window and falls 2 stories to her death.
Yep.
Commit suicide right in front of her, 7-10-year-old daughter?
Less, maybe?
Yeah. Instant sympathy for Chisei.
Yeah,
instant
that'll do
sympathy.
That'll do it. Now, what is not great backstory is what we got for Tamaki in one of the last episodes. One of the latest episodes. That was, they're really good at not working to get what? Huh?
Yeah. It was basically her being like, she thinks they're cool, but we weren't really given a good demonstration as to why they're cool.
Well, they're cool because he punched an infernal and the other guy froze one, and that was cool. And I don't know that. Like, if the only thing you know about somebody is like, oh, they're really good at punching infernal, and they ask you to abduct children and bring them to an abandoned facility somewhere,
Okay, I think we've said our piece.
I think we have. My prediction is it's going to be backstory next episode. What are your guys' predictions?
If it ain't backstory, they need to work on their titling.
I'm gonna go with the opposite. Is I think we might get a little backstory. I don't think it's gonna be backstory centric. I think it's going to be one of those. It's gonna kind of show us where Company 8 was back when it was first founded, but then mainly focus on this is the Company 8 that we have now. That it's the formation of like the new Company 8. that
Maybe.
now they kind of they know that Shinra's brother is alive, and they have this objective of we need to save him and stop these people. So this is we now have an objective that's very clear for us.
Ah,
Maybe
That's my
interesting.
theory.
maybe it'll show a big coming together moment for the
Mhm.
team.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Perhaps.
Which would be under the umbrella of what Bo has just said, but I'll be a bit more specific. Like, they'll come together as a team. Like, we have an objective. We're here now as a team. Some of us weren't originally members of the 8th, but you're here now, Tamaki. And, yeah, let's go get them. Let's go hunting.
Mhm. That's my theory.
Yeah. Interesting. I think it's probably going to be backstory. I think I agree with Brian. I'd like to see some stuff on Obi. I think he's probably one of my favorite characters or caricatures, as the case may be. But I want to see some good backstory on him and sort of where he's coming from. But
Red Helix. This is just talking, hence the title Fire Force Podcast.
Might want to give it an F5 and see the difference.
But yeah, so in any case, I think that kind of brings us to the end. Or does anybody else have any other predictions, or you wanna?
Nope.
I don't have a prediction, but I do have an announcement.
Oh.
My lazy ass will not be here for the next 2 sessions.
Oh, so Bo, we need your computer.
I
have already been made aware.
I'm going to go visit the homeland of the Dunkelmans.
You're going to Texas.
I'm going to Canada.
Oh, the homeland.
Okay.
I always forget that she's Canadian.
I always forget she's from Canada too.
Funnily enough, I forgot until just before I said that. But yeah, I'm going up north, and we're gonna go.
Man,
to Canada
everyone's going to Canada. Fucking Zaz went to Canada. You're going to Canada. My roommate
going to
just
Glacier. It's
Canada.
fine. I'm not going
My
that far.
My roommate literally just spent a week up in Alberta. So.
Ooh, Alberta,
jealous.
Canada. That's a cool place.
This will be my first time leaving the country. Okay.
Have fun.
James forgot Canada existed.
Back with a Canadian accent, so.
Yeah. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back next week with some more Fire Force. Bye!
Deuces.
Bye-bye.